On my last video, I showed you how I modified some Grand Star rubbers for the spurs. On eBay recently, I managed to find two for 99p. So I bought them, and these are basically a rod that pressed into them. So they were a blind hole in here. And I modded them to put a hole all the way through it and put this pressed insert in it. And then it got me thinking, well, I've got two spare rubbers now. I'm going to need some wingnuts. And I know they're difficult to find, so I thought, I wonder if I could make one. Now these are cast, and basically it's a cone on the top, a cone at the bottom, then the wing nuts, and obviously enough meat in here to take the thread. So I thought I'd measure one up and see if I could possibly make one out of sheet metal. So here's a drawing, and you've got a top cone, a lower cone, the two wings, and there's a boss welded on the inside here, which would take the thread, and then a washer in between it, because the gap between there was not quite big enough to weld. The main challenge is this profile here. I mean, it's 13mm ID up here. That is seriously small. But the way I thought I'd manage this is to knock over the radius with a hammer on the ends, like you do on normal cones anyway. And then what I had to do is get a small piece of flat bar and basically hammer it here constantly all the way around like this, until it formed the cone. It was a lot of work and a lot of tapping and messing around, but eventually I come up with this. So you've got a small sheet metal cone at the top, a bigger one at the bottom, the two wings welded on, the boss welded in the centre, and underneath you can see the washer that separated the two cones. And if you put it next to the original, it looks really quite good. A lot of work in the welding and the putting together. I won't be selling them, but at least I know if I ever need some, I can make them going forward. And here, that's a homemade spur with a homemade wing nut and then a modified rubber that cost me 99p. Well, 50p for one. And they look absolutely great. So I've got a pair of them now. I've got a pair of 22s that are going off to America. I've been machining a lot of these over the Christmas holidays because I've got a lot of them going out as well. So I've spent a lot of time on the old lathe and I've been up to my knees in swarf, but that's my kind of Christmas.